Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the St. Louis podcast. I'm your glorious host today, Eric Brown, president of Vi Media and partner at Mogul Holdings. You'll see we're joined by two new faces today. Well, I should say one new face, Evan Archambault, sitting across the table from me, but one face that we had on a Christmas extravaganza podcast, which went for like 2.5 hours. Yeah, that's the last hour and a half is me drinking a little bit too much whiskey. I'll put it that way. It's on YouTube. Feel free. Go watch it now. All right. We got Alex Dietrich, current CEO at Vi Media, doing all the things behind the scenes that I don't want to. Thank God for that. And, of course, founder here at Half Coast Studios, the studio we're sitting in right now. So if there's any audio problems today, video problems, you can reach out to Alex Dietrich at Alex S. Dietrich across all platforms. Also, like I said, we got Evan Archambault sitting here. He is an owner of West County Insulation. As many of you know by listening to this podcast, the four owners at Vi Media, myself, Alex Dietrich, Garrett Atkins, and Matt McGrail, started a holding company a couple years ago. Our first company we started off of that was in conjunction with this fine gentleman, his brother, and Clayton Natoli. And that was really our first successful company. We started off the backbone of Vi Media. So we'll get into what these guys are up to, really. So first of all, gentlemen, how are we doing?
Good, man.
Yeah?
Great.
Cheers.
Thanks for having me.
Cheers.
Yes, sir. Boom.
Doom.
Yeah, I was like, you got to sip that after that.
That's some nice stuff. That James E. Pepper, barrel proof. All right. So let's start with Evan over here because I know he's just waiting to get into it. All right. So when we started West County Insulation, I want to ask it from your perspective because, of course, our perspective is the perspective of holding company and Vi Media. So my understanding of really the reason we kind of went with insulation is was it you and Andrew both had work in doing insulation previously?
No, it was just me. I did HVAC for 8 to 9 years, did it on the side for extra cash money on weekends, and then it got too busy and I kind of stopped doing it. And then Garrett approached me and we went from there and kind of figure out a plan to kind of start it up. And then we met the team and rest is history. And we've been doing better every year since we've opened up. And I guess that's about, we're roughly at 4 years now.
Yeah. I always say the first year doesn't count.
It didn't get much progress, I tell you that one.
No, the first year was us just pretty much setting everything up, figuring out how the hell to run the business, what to do from an insulation perspective. Because anytime you start a new company, especially with new guys like yourselves that are brand new to like running a business, we pretty much just had to get you guys up to speed, really, the first year. It's like, welcome.
Yeah.
Fucking welcome to business ownership. This shit sucks.
That's a lot to take on.
I will double
But we
that.
love it. Would you go back?
Oh, no, not a million years.
Okay. Even though you had the opportunity to become an AC or HVAC technician, why would you not want to go back?
I guess the freedom of my own time, but at the same time, I mean, you lose freedoms as well. Getting on a phone call at 8:30 at night, with a customer. I mean, I can't tell you how many times think I'm off, but in reality, I mean, you're never off.
Never
off. Ever. 7 days out of the week. There's customers call you on a Sunday at the beginning of the day to the end of the day. So, I mean, it's just, there's no off time there, but you're more flexible. Kind of get to make your own rules. Obviously, I can't make them all because of you guys, but
that's right.
but I have enjoyed taking the lead on it and getting to where we're at today.
Yeah, no, I think the nice thing with business ownership, Alex asked me, tell me if I'm wrong here. I think we as business owners, like the time thing, sure, to a certain extent, but really I feel like we do this. There are only so many business owners that make like an ungodly amount of money. Like most business owners aren't doing like a ton better, more than the average person. But there are a ton of average people. And when I mean average, I'm just like middle of the road income earner, work for a lot of those business owners that probably don't make that much more money than them, that deal with a lot more of the headache, heartache, the stress, and everything else that keeps a person up at night. versus having a 9 to 5. You know, you close your computer at 5 or whatever. You're done working at 5. You drive home and you don't have to worry about shit to the next day.
Yeah.
But there's something about like going out there, and it sounds stupid, or maybe not stupid, but going out there and just making a steak for yourself, like almost proving it to yourself that this is something that you can do. Matt's shaking his head back there. He's like, I don't want to do it myself. I didn't say steak. What did I say? Steak?
I think you said
Just
steak. Yeah, just now.
Wait, I wasn't talking about steak.
Is that a
or the food.
recurring thing that you say?
Yeah, I always talk about steak. It's delicious.
Not the food, though.
Yeah, I
right?
wasn't talking about the food. No,
Matt's thinking about the
no.
steak.
I'm talking about like a steak, like making your steak in the
Yes,
ground.
I understand.
Not steak the food, Matt. Oh my God.
I mean, I'm down to talk about that steak later, though.
Yeah, and then also like something about building employees around you and seeing them succeed. If you're not in that type of
I
position,
think
you'll
that's
never.
the biggest thing. Is like once you provide for yourself, but then you like realize that who you're providing for around you, you're like, fuck yeah.
Gives you a little bit more pep in your step too, to kind of make sure things happen every week, no matter what type of week you're having. Depressed, mad at yourself for making this mistake. It's kind of helps you kind of blow through those and kind of just keep moving forward. Because if you don't, I mean, bills are always come at the same time. I'll tell you that one.
Yep. We know that, don't we? And, you know what's interesting about kind of what's different really between our businesses is that with Vi, not so much with you guys, or I should say the opposite, way more with you guys than with Vi. I would say that we don't have a lot of clients reaching out to us after hours for the most part.
Yeah.
We don't have to deal with really much on Saturday or Sunday unless there's really a big issue.
Yep.
But I don't have to. The only reason I work on weekends is because I have to get something done.
Yeah.
Not so much someone's calling me to ask for
So
something.
yeah, we also got to factor in like the volume they do, like the turnover. I mean, it's just like different customers every single time.
Yep.
Our model's a little different. So.
Yeah, it's nice to not have thousands of clients.
Yeah, just
It's
it's a different animal.
It really is. It really is.
Entirely different animal. So when you came on to West County Insulation, you really just started working in the field. And who was originally first doing sales? Did Clayton or Andrew start
It was
it?
Andrew.
Andrew started it.
Yeah.
Clayton kind of took over, right, for a little bit. And then finally got transferred to the person that probably should have been doing
Had
it.
the personality to do
That
so.
probably should have been doing it from the beginning. No offense to Andrew or Clayton. We love you guys, but you know where you are, you know.
We're where we need to be.
Yeah.
Position-wise.
So what have you never had done sales before that though? Correct.
No, I would say, but I still was in the field and dealing with paperwork.
Customer service, yeah.
Exactly. Customer service for, right out of high school, from landscaping to HVAC technician to what I am now. So I did have that background on me. So just the fact of learning of just kind of a couple sales techniques that helped me here and there, and kind of just getting used to dealing with the people. I mean, at a constant basis, 24, constantly, instead of just doing the job and then getting paid at the end of it. It kind of was definitely a change up for me. But in reality, we kind of knew that that should have been my position all along.
Sure.
We just didn't pull that trigger. It took us a little while.
Sales guys. That's right. Alex is like, I would hate to do their job. Let me tell you, I'd hate to do yours, sir. So it's okay. All right. So West County Insulation, now we got pretty much 2 crews going full time.
Yep.
Blowing and attic insulation. Do we want to talk about some of the troubles we've encountered across the way with West County Insulation? I've been telling a bunch of people about the story of us fucking up the machine. And then us having to fix the engine, us having to then go buy a brand new machine. So I'll lead you into the story. So with a home service company, you have equipment, you have trucks, you have stuff that a company like Vi Media does not have to maintain, care about, or literally have to deal with. I mean, we have a few cameras and things like that, but it's nothing compared to, $50, $100, $150,000 machine. So, for the first, let's just call it 3 years, we had just an electric blown-in machine.
Correct.
We upgraded to a gas-powered one end of last year, right? very beginning of this year.
Yeah, what would I say? Roughly around there, give or take.
So that was, let's just call it 60,000, I think, somewhere in that range.
In that ballpark.
50, 60,000. We had no experience with a gas-powered one, so we made some mistakes on that. And eventually the engine blew because insulation ended up getting in a spot where it wasn't supposed to be.
Correct. It just cut off the air circulation.
I want to know what happened with that.
And it's cut the air circulation off, so the motor overheated, unfortunately, and it overheated on one of the hottest days of the summer. So I really don't think it would have blown up if it wasn't the hottest day of the summer. But at that same time, it would eventually. But everything's squared away now. I mean, it's exactly how it's supposed to be.
Yeah. So we ended up having to go buy a new one.
Correct.
Because we couldn't fix it in time. With a lot of these machines, as well as I'm sure some of you know, it's not like you can just fix that machine overnight and have it back up and running the next day. So it was either us making a decision of being screwed and not being able to do enough jobs, going back to the old machine, or literally buying that exact same machine again. And now we have two of them because we went ahead and fixed the engine on the other one.
Correct.
So long about way, really what we did was just fast track our way to two nicer machines. That's what we did.
Yeah. Exactly what we did. But it's going to help in the long run, allow us to kind of separate from each other and do two different blown-ins if we do not have a removal, because that's pretty much the three ones we do is, we either put back the insulation over the top, new construction, and then or removing the bacteria that's up in an attic if, rodent problem, moisture, fire damage, and then putting it back. So having the second one, it was kind of fast-tracking to it, but at the same time, we needed it. I mean, we were still running into the days or weeks that, we could have done extra stuff, but just didn't really have run in the time frame with summertime as well. Yeah, we all know it's
hot.
130 degrees up there.
That's why you'll notice me wearing short sleeves today. Probably that might be the only time on the podcast I've ever worn short sleeves because it's like 120 outside today.
That's awful.
How much quicker is that new machine compared to the old? You guys put it in like terms of jobs, like how many jobs could the new one do or the old one do?
I'll say per pound. We could say per pound, it shoots in about 6 times the amount per pound for that hour it's running. So it's
realistically a job that would take 6 hours now takes us an hour.
Yeah,
correct.
That's how much of a
big
difference it is for the old.
So that's why we couldn't go back to the electric.
Yeah, you can't go. It couldn't even keep up with what was scheduled.
It would have been.
We can't go back
on fire.
Yeah,
no shot.
So with West County Insulation, people here in St. Louis, if they're like, my house is hot, I can't get it down, my AC, it's blowing full blast, the temperature's not dropping. Is insulation the first thing they should look at, of course, besides their HVAC unit?
It's going to be the cheapest thing for the best savings.
Okay.
Obviously they could do I always say it's the main three, HVAC, window and doors, and your insulation in your attic. Obviously people were like, oh, what about around my exterior of my walls? You're kind of stuck there because it's a big project that's going to be more expensive than, the windows and doors or HVAC, just because drywall needs to come down and need to take out what's old and put the better solution in there. But at that being said, it's going to be your fastest result for the cheapest price.
Yeah.
To see something, and even if your windows and doors are bad, and your HVAC isn't 100%, adding insulation at the very least, is definitely good. You're definitely going to see something.
Yeah.
See a difference. I will say comes with insulation, ventilation is those are our two. And I always tell people ventilation and insulation, they go hand in hand in the summer months, not the winter months, but in the summer months, they go hand in hand. And you can have all the insulation in the world up in an attic, but if you don't have enough ventilation, I mean, you're really shooting yourself in the foot. So
because the hot air needs to go out. Hot air needs to get out of the attic.
Exactly. Yep. And that's why we have been installing the solar fans on top of the roofs. Depending on how big your roof is, you need one or two.
Yeah.
But it sucks that air out, and it's solar power, and it runs pretty much.
What's the lifetime of those?
A lifetime warranty on the solar
Oh,
panel,
really?
and
Okay.
lifetime warranty on the motor and the thermostat.
Gotcha.
So if a windstorm does come through and rips it off the roof
Mhm.
for any means, and it shouldn't ever. I mean, we have a lot more problems if
Yeah.
it gets ripped off the
Sure.
roof.
Sure. Yeah.
A branch falls on it, hail damage, any of that sort, you're going to be under warranty through
Okay.
our company, through the supplier we use.
So should they reach out to us in that instance?
Reach out to us, but we only give a 1-year warranty
Okay.
on the labor on that
Got it.
side. So, but then after the fact, let's say 5 years down the road,
Sure.
motor blows, I'll come back out for $250 to take it off, put it back on. I
Gotcha.
won't be coming out, but
Sure.
I'll send some guy out to.
Someone will be coming out. Makes sense. So have we also been adding ridge vents and things like that as well?
We refer that to one of the roofers we use.
Okay.
The ridge vent, we will cut out soffits, holes out of their soffits. Just depends on the type of house
Sure.
and the height of the house.
Okay.
So sometimes I just don't like to touch certain things. If the house is on a hill, it's not the flattest land, I'll kind of move that to a roofer's forte, because that's just something they do all the time. They're up on the roofs all
Sure,
the time,
sure.
scaffolding and all that. Maybe down the road something we'll tackle, but for now, only certain ones.
Makes sense. Makes sense. So if someone wants a quote on insulation right now, where can they go besides westcountyinsulation.com? Or just type in West County Insulation on Google. Give us a call. Go to the website, fill out a form.
Google, Instagram, Facebook.
So what fiberglass and cellulose? Explain it to me. What do we got here? There's the two different types. I know we don't really like cellulose. So explain that to the people out here that may not understand the difference, and explain from an insulation perspective why we prefer fiberglass over cellulose.
Reason I prefer fiberglass over cellulose. Cellulose is a paper product. It's made up of, all types of things. I've seen a lot of different things in it. Blue jeans, Levi jeans, Lay's chip bags. I mean, they will cut up anything that's, a paper product, and, they spray chemical in there to kind of give it that, kind of keep the dust down, make it a fire retardant to a certain point. I always say that. They always say it is a fire retardant, but at that same time, if there is a big enough and hot enough flame in an attic,
yeah, it's coming through.
It's burning.
Yeah.
I mean, no matter what. It's a little dusty. It sometimes can make its way through light fixtures, down the cracks of walls, kind of can come into the house. I've had it. I'm not saying it will on every house.
Yeah.
Because, that's not the case for every house, but there are some houses that they'll get that done. They're like, they've had bad allergies. I've had people not like that cellulose. For those kind of instances. Fiberglass is a little bit of a glass and plastic mixture. No dust. Its life expectancy is triple. I mean, almost triple compared to cellulose. And that's my biggest reason.
Yeah.
Is why, for the price margins on, 1,000 square feet for cellulose and 1,000 square feet for fiberglass, we're not looking at too much of a price difference.
Right.
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, but it's anywhere from $200 to $500 difference.
Right.
And I mean, I guess if you can't afford it, I understand. Go with that cheaper product. I get that. But at the same time, fiberglass is going to last cellulose is going to last you anywhere from 25 to 50 years.
Yeah.
It's going to settle. And it's just something that it's just a dusty, dirty material, and I'm just not a fan of it.
Sure.
Just from the life expectancy.
Isn't it labeled as the eco-friendly option, though?
Correct.
And that's why some people want to use it?
Exactly. They're just trying to help, the planet and trying to not use so much.
There's other ways to be eco-friendly, guys. Come on. You're being eco-friendly by getting fiberglass insulation.
Correct.
Because you're saving on your electric bill, therefore using less electricity.
And less gas.
Yeah,
so,
sure.
Depending on the setup of your home.
Yep.
But yeah, for the most part, I'm definitely going to recommend all the way fiberglass. It lasts longer. It's better R value.
What's R value?
R value is the higher R value we go up, depending on the state you live in. So right now, St. Louis is anywhere from an R49 to an R60.
Okay.
That's just the depth. The higher we go up in that R value, the better savings we're going to see throughout the house.
Sure.
And the most comfortability. Because I tell you, I've sold to so many people, and some people don't even care about the savings. They just want that far back bedroom
Yep.
to not be 5 degrees difference.
Yeah.
And their daughter's waking up and cranky every day because she's going to school because she sweat all, or with a lack of sleep and
I had that
and
room
all
in my
that.
parents' house.
So it just happens. I mean,
furthest from the
90%
AC
of the
unit.
homes, 90% of the homes in St. Louis area, I'm telling you, there's going to be a 1 or 2 rooms that are off by 2 to 5 degrees.
And that's one of the things that can help solve that is insulation.
Correct.
So is it just that room doesn't have enough insulation over the room itself versus the other rooms? Why would insulation be the case there?
Sometimes some rooms, I mean, I'm not saying people do shoddy work sometimes, and it's not even, it's not level. Then replace some can lights, move the insulation back, never put it back.
Got it.
You know, anything could have happened. They could have done a remodel themselves and then took the ceiling down and did something and put it back up and never insulated it. It's kind of I could have a question. I could have an answer for that 30 different ways.
Sure.
You know what I mean? It
Makes
could be
sense.
lack on ventilation. It could be the furthest away.
Yeah.
Or, you know, a vent got stepped on up in the attic and it's crushed and it's not allowing enough airflow. And when we come in, we do a full inspection of the attic. We're not HVAC guys, but I've trained my guys to at least
Notice if there's a
notice
problem there.
the common looks, feel everything, kind of make sure, if they're having a problem in a room, you know, feel the vent. Is it the pressure coming out strong? Is it not? If it's not going to the other rooms, kind of see what they're feeling like and see, you know, kind of a temperature wise, and take a temperature on those vents and see what's coming out colder and kind of see what's going on. And if, you know, we'll come up there and say, yeah, you need insulation, but at the same time, that vent should be getting more air to it. Let's call an HVAC. We always use Sailor's Heating and Cooling.
Yep.
He's my main guy.
Shout out Sailors.
Yeah, so he's been
That's
in the field.
That's $50, by the way.
He's been in the field for a long time, and he knows what he's doing. And he's 9 times out of 10, he takes care of the problem if it's in his control. If he can take care of that problem, or if they can afford that problem. Because sometimes those problems are a little pricier than just getting a new HVAC, or you know, it takes a little extra because it was either done wrong or just really not up to date.
Yep.
So
makes sense.
Hey there, St. Louis podcast listeners. We've got some exciting news from our friends over at Farmers Insurance of St. Louis, led by the man, the myth, the legend, Mark Lee of Farmers Insurance. If you're looking for a job or to own your own business under a brand that everyone and their cousin is familiar with, Mark Lee with Farmers Insurance of St. Louis is recruiting insurance agency owners here in St. Louis for their Farmers Insurance Mentorship Program.
And as many of you are aware, Garrett and I have owned quite a few successful and award-winning businesses over the years. And in a past life, one of those was a farmer's insurance agency out of Chesterfield, Missouri.
Eric and I know firsthand how hard it is to start a business under a brand that no one has heard of and convince consumers and businesses to trust that you're an authority figure in your industry.
And as many of you know, we own an award-winning marketing firm, Vi Media, the one that Garrett was just discussing. And building that company's reputation literally took years. We're still building it to this day, and it's been 8 years in the making. However, with the Trusted Farmers Insurance Agency name on the building, we got started when we started our Farmers Insurance Agency. The trust was already built and has been for 96 years.
And if you can't do math, that means Farmers Insurance has been around since 1928. Luckily, you don't need to be a human calculator to get rich as an owner of your very own Farmers Insurance Agency.
Nope. All you have to do is reach out to the one and only Mark Lee, the leader of Farmers Insurance in the greater St. Louis metropolitan area.
That's right. So ensure he continues to sponsor our show and your favorite podcast, the St. Louis podcast, by quitting your job today and calling Mark Lee. I wouldn't even wait for him to answer your call. Call your boss now, quit, and become your very own business owner.
Visit insurancecareerstl.com. That is insurancecareerstl.com. Should we spell it out?
Yes. It would
INSURANCE. Career, CAREER, STL.com, insurancecareerstl.com. Go there now. Back to the podcast.
And wait, insurancecareerstl.com.
Back to the podcast. Alex, do you want to move over to you real quick? Because I got to ask you about West County Insulation, because you really helped from an operations perspective set up I mean, a lot from literally nothing to kind of where we're at today with a lot of the back end stuff that we got going on. So I'm curious, you did a lot of that at Vi, from, you know, literally admin over to operations, making sure that like all of that stuff is set up for our internal teams, for, you know, our employees, for everything like that. What did you learn at Vi that then you moved over to West County Insulation that made it a hell of a lot easier the second time around?
I think it just kind of being like just something I've done multiple times now, like just going through the process and like using different softwares and like finding different solutions based on the business and like its needs, basically.
So what would you say is like the most important things if you're starting a business? What are like some of the things that you know needs to be set up every time and that you know needs to be set up for the success of a business?
Yeah, so I mean, it's kind of rinse and repeat with like, I mean, starting from the beginning, you obviously do all your filings.
Mm-hmm. So articles of
all the Missouri Secretary of State fun stuff, like the LLC, the DBA and instances, and then with that, obviously you get an EIN, and then you get your like Missouri tax ID or wherever your business is.
Yep.
And then open up bank account. Once the bank account, it's literally just kind of like the same order of operation.
This is the process, so take notes.
And then you, I would personally go QuickBooks. Once the bank account's open, get QuickBooks.
They're an evil necessity
get
at this
get
point,
that connected.
sadly.
I know there's some other ones. There's like Wave and some other different solutions that are free, but the reason why I like QuickBooks is because they have payroll built in.
Mm-hmm.
So it depends on the company, but you don't always have to go that route to have everything all in one, you know, workspace. But like for the contracting businesses, I like having it all in one place. I think it's essential to be pretty streamlined and have it pretty easy to manage for me to show somebody else how to use it. Like show them like one environment, not like, hey, let me show you these 3 other softwares. Like they don't want to manage that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I try to keep it on one. So you get the payroll set up. You can pay employees and contractors in there. And then after that, it's the Google Workspace, your email, calendar, Google Drive.
How many times do we work with someone? Have we brought on a client, or you've been networking with someone, or someone starts a podcast here where they either don't have a domain or they do have like a domain, but their email is still blah, blah, blah at Gmail or at yahoo.com.
It happens still a lot, for sure.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I just saw it this morning. I went up to him. And he's been in business for 40 years. I was like, dude, I will help. Can I please help you set up an email? It was like this restoration company, like this long ass email at yahoo.com. And I'm like, dude,
yeah,
we need to get this up.
They're making it easier and easier now to set up. But I mean, originally it's not like the easiest just to pick up because you have to add like certain records to your domain. It's not like everybody's going to know how to do that. But
That's
now,
true.
luckily, like a lot of the domain providers have like one-click Google Workspace set up.
Mm-hmm.
So you like click it and like it'll add all the records. And then you're like, oh, cool, I got a custom domain email.
Yep.
It was not that easy before.
All right. So after that, then what do we got? Were you looking at CRM at that
so
point?
I think after that, you're looking at your project management and CRM needs based on the business.
Why did we? So we originally went with Builder Trend.
I started in Builder Trend, man.
And that was me.
Yeah, I did not pay. I actually
That was me.
I just helped
They
build
were
it.
rated as one of the best. We went through people. We went through softwares.
Oh yeah, we did.
And let me tell you, Builder Trend, your guys' UI.
That was the biggest thing.
The UI.
No mobile app.
The user interface
Wasn't there no mobile app?
I
No.
think
That
That's what
maybe.
killed
that
it.
will kill you.
Yeah,
in
that's
the
what killed us.
contracting
so.
space.
Builder Trend, get your shit
I learned
together.
right. They might have one now.
This wasn't even that long ago. This was like 2 years ago. We switched to Jobber.
I said
We switched.
Maybe
we
3
weren't
years
in
ago?
it. We weren't in there that long.
no.
Maybe
But
it's
the
3 years
mobile
ago.
app, dude,
I mean, they didn't have a mobile app in 2021.
you gotta have the app in
so-
the field.
Yeah.
Like that was, and Jobber, I handed to them. Their UI is very good.
Yeah, we
Nice.
can. I mean, I have like Brandon. He's our sales guy, or one of our sales guys, and he can send out a quote to somebody before he even hops out of the attic. you could do everything on the phone.
Yeah, couldn't do that
So,
before on Builder.
No, there's certain a few little things to do with, payments and stuff like that, and that makes kind of sense why it is on the computer. But for the the creating, the scheduling, the checking on what you're doing, your
All
to-dos
needs to be on
today, your
mobile.
notes, everything is on there, and letting the guys know exactly what they need to do with the detailed notes that they need to have. And it's an easy clock in, clock out type deal, and it's just I'm in love with Jobber, but if there definitely is something that down the road that comes out that's better, but I'm not anytime soon.
It's good. I think the only like things we ran into it is more for sales reasons, like the filtering,
Some
and sales
limitations on
tracking.
some
Yep.
follow-up
Sales
stuff
tracking and
yeah.
follow-up tracking.
Yep.
There's
But
some limitations.
You're always going to hit limitations on the software. Like I said, it's not a one size fits all. You kind of got to research for that. But
No.
still a much better improvement.
Yeah. No, CRM and project management is super important because otherwise, how the hell are you going to keep track of everything? You don't want to be that guy that's still, I've been in business for 50 years and he has a notepad and you're like, okay, guy.
Hey,
Like,
sometimes that
congrats.
works.
Well, we know we've worked with a couple of those people, not anytime recently, probably not in the past 4 or 5 years, but when we started, we worked with quite a few of those guys. And it was like, I remember this guy wouldn't answer phone calls from specific zip codes.
Yeah.
If it wasn't in or from specific area codes, excuse
Had
me,
to be
zip
specific.
codes, area codes, even though people would obviously move from one city to there. Oh, you forgot about all those people? It's literally only that area code. And even only in the area that we were targeting, there was more than one area code itself. So I'm like, this guy is just not with it. And then we go through leads. He'd be like, I don't see that name on this piece of paper. I'm like, it's in our system right here.
Yeah. No, I mean,
What a nightmare. So don't be those, especially if you're starting a new business, like obviously talking to someone that's been in business forever.
yeah, I mean, there's set the ways they want to do
is
things.
different. But if you're new to business or starting a new business, you've only been doing it for a few years and like you don't have anything he just went over set up, I don't know how you're successful, really.
Yeah.
Or maybe you're successful, but you're very limited. Very
and at
limited.
that same time, like, how would I keep a track of Brandon if it didn't?
How would you keep track of anything?
And it's let alone my own stuff. Imagine, just as employees, it'd be chaos.
Yeah.
He'd be like, you'd be like, hey, can you give me your sheet? And he'd have to hand you over a booklet.
It'd be like an
You'd have to
Excel
go to-
sheet. It'd be like an Excel sheet.
Yeah, exactly.
They have
Yeah.
list sheets.
Yeah, literally, it'd be
They
an
have their
Excel
uses. The sheets have their uses.
sheet. Yep. All
Okay,
right.
Clayton.
So Half Coast Studios. So you and Garrett and some other gentlemen started this in the past.
Yes, sir.
Names to be unknown. You could probably find that information if you want, I guess. So why podcast? Actually, let me back up real quick. I know why well, I'll let you answer why podcast.
Oh, you know too, because
Um,
weren't you gonna be on?
we
the
always
podcast?
wanted to Garrett's whole point of opening a
Is
podcast studio was
to be St. Louis podcast.
was to do St. Louis podcast,
Correct.
and then that took 2 years.
Couple of
after
years,
that.
man.
Yeah, because we've been doing podcasts since last March. I think.
Invested in the equipment and the space solely for our own podcast, and then in the time it took to start it, we just rented it and made a business out of it.
Yeah.
It worked out pretty well.
Did you? So you kind of got shoved into it, right?
Yeah, a wee bit.
Kind of shoved into it. Now, looking back at that, are you glad you were shoved into it?
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I had the background in it a little bit through Webster and like the game program because we took a bunch of also even before that, I took a bunch of photo video courses, took some audio courses, and then also obviously my brother Justin, he has a major audio background.
Yep.
So he kind of got brought in for more of the audio.
So if you listen to our podcast and then listen to other podcasts from St. Louis, you might see some better audio quality coming out of this studio right here. Half Coast Studios.
But yeah, so he kind of brought in that. I had basic audio knowledge, but he brought in the technical aspects of it all. He's worked at a bunch of different studios. My background was more for the visual, video, and then obviously business operations to run this thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, no.
So when did it start?
2019.
2019.
When it was filed.
You guys were running out of Enterprise
Accounting on Manchester in the back room.
Yep.
That's where it started.
Got there. You guys then moved to Vi. Essentially,
the sales room.
The sales room at Vi.
Built it out, and then the air show came in one weekend. I said, "This has got to move."
Well, not only that, we backed up. We in Chesterfield, if you're familiar with Chesterfield Valley, we had like a front office space, and behind us was manufacturing.
We were in industrial.
We were in Industrial Boulevard, yeah. And we had an industrial person. Literally, we had like this wall, and then like heavy machinery 3 feet on the other side. So
yeah,
it wasn't conducive towards podcasting.
Couldn't really
by
treat
any
it.
means.
You couldn't really treat that for that scenario. They weren't always there. Then they moved in, right? And then the machine started operating. It was like
the same time.
It honestly prompted us to move entirely.
Yep.
It was so bad that Vi had to move.
Yep.
So there's no way the studio could stay there. You know what I mean? Like,
I still remember Jeff Mason coming in, and he had to literally, you guys couldn't even record one day.
no.
He had to come back.
Yeah.
And I was like,
We had to start moving
I
stuff.
was like, this isn't gonna work.
Had to move.
I remember, they were moving in stuff behind us, remember, and there's dust coming through our door. We were like,
Yeah, we had to seal the dust cloud flying
what the
through.
hell?
Yeah, we had to
Thank God we're in a Class A office space now. My Lord. It's way
good
nicer.
times though.
Yeah, Garrett
Gotta
actually
start
talked
somewhere.
about how we had to clean the bathroom.
Friday cleanup day.
Friday cleanup day.
Friday cleanup.
I remember
day,
it was always me, the bad guy, because I had a list. I think it was me, you, and Garrett switched every Friday.
It was like dust, vacuum, bathrooms.
Yeah,
Everybody was like,
yeah.
"Oh."
I was like, whoever's on bathroom this week was like, God damn it, no. Be like, and we had Mexican this week. Oh no. Oh, jeez. Yeah, cleaning other people's toilets is not fun. The things you do to start a business. Am I right? Am I right? All right. So now we're sitting here. You guys have been here for how long? What, two and a half years?
Yeah, it's like
Since
2.5.
we moved? 3 years.
Yeah, it's 2 or 3 now.
However long we've been in our other spot.
Yeah.
I think 3 years.
Mhm.
Yeah, so 3 years now. So when are we going to get you to move? We getting out of here? We getting a bigger spot soon?
Yeah.
What are we working on?
This definitely isn't the end goal for sure. Still planning it, but we're probably gonna be here just like a little longer. Just need to figure out where now.
What do you envision? What are you envisioning as like the next spot? What do you want it to be?
So I think what I envision is having a couple different rooms
Mm-hmm.
and a couple different setups already made.
Mm-hmm.
Like I envision a setup like this, and then I envision more of like a couch setup.
Mm-hmm.
Like you kind of pick the setup, and we don't have Matt and Aiden on the fly here flipping this fucking room
Yep.
repeatedly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like I would say just having the setups ready to go. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And you kind of pick what the vibe is. That's kind of the goal, I think.
Yeah.
A couple different rooms.
Yep. 100%. Well, good thing is our landlord's about to be on the podcast, right? Isn't he doing a podcast?
Starting his own, yeah.
There we go. There's your in.
Yeah.
Be like, hey, by the way, I know we're here, but do you guys have a bigger spot? Because we need.
But we could be elsewhere.
Yeah, but we could be elsewhere. And by the
The
way,
couches.
we'll charge you the same amount. We'll charge you the same amount. No, I just want to say appreciate you, sir, because I don't own any part of this podcast studio, and you've been letting me use this for free. So shout out Halfco Studios.
No problem.
As much shit as I like to give you guys, they do take good care of us here at St. Louis Podcast. But
Sometimes the table is small.
you know, we'll leave that up for a different day. All right, let's see here. So, Halfco Studios. Would you want to talk about VGT or anything like that?
No, I mean, I'm assuming kind of Garrett has talked a little
Garrett's
bit
talked
about it. I'll kind of leave that one to him.
All right.
When you
All right.
guys have some other episodes.
Well, you want to move on to some topics here?
Whatever you want to do.
All right, let's move on to some topics.
Rapid fire, Evan. No,
Dr. Disrespect.
Oh, Lord.
Dr. Disrespect. We're going to talk about Dr. Disrespect. We're going to talk about Cody Co. We're going to talk about Mr. Beast. Let's get into it. What's up with all these influencers and streamers
Guys, and that's cameraman.
talking to 14-year-olds. Can we just I literally don't understand what's going on. Dr. Disrespect got with like a 15-year-old, right? Or was talking to a 15-year-old. The leaks
Talking
As far as I
talking
know, it was
inappropriately.
talking inappropriately.
and we'll leave it at that.
That's all he gave,
And
pretty much.
I don't think anything else is confirmed.
I think
But he
If-
did
even if
admit
you-
that.
even
Yeah.
if you talk inappropriately, 20 years in jail. One message, 20 years in jail.
Yeah.
If you
I mean,
inappropriately
it's very
text
different
a
if you-
minor, one text,
It's very different if you know.
one DM.
Yeah.
It's got to be a
They
matter
know.
of if you know, I guess.
He's a piece of shit. He has a wife and has kids. He cheated on his wife in the past.
doesn't
Like,
have a
get your life
Doesn't have
together,
a great
dude.
track record.
Like you are a streamer. Like you should care about what people think about you. I don't understand. It's like these people, they're flying too close to the sun, right? That's what I feel like that's what all these people do. And then for somehow they get ego or something goes to their head and they're like, all these people are talking to me. All these people love me. And then it's very easy to take advantage of young people when all they do is watch you.
Yeah. Look
Like-
up to you.
Look up to you. Like
Yeah.
the same thing with this Chris Ava situation with Mr. Beast. It's like even the guy, Lava or whatever the name is, came out and said, Chris or Ava didn't groom me. It's like you as like now an 18-year-old saying that when you were 12 and 14 wasn't groomed. It's like, listen, no offense to you, but I'm not going to take your word for it because you were groomed.
You also didn't even know
Yeah.
what that was.
Didn't know
Yeah.
you were being groomed. That's grooming.
Yeah.
That's how that works. So we got Dr. Disrespect. I mean, what's your thought process? I was astounded when this Dr. Disrespect thing happened
Devastated.
because
dude.
I
Devastated.
always take
I
the
got like I had a bunch of shit in my office.
I've
I'm like,
always taken the
"Fuck, I
hot
gotta take this
stance.
down,
Yeah, I've
dude."
always taken the hot stance of I've never liked streamers. I don't get it. I'm like the boomer when it comes to this. I'm like, I don't want to watch someone else play video games. I don't care. Never have, never will. Don't find it interesting. But all these other people, I don't even know where I was getting with that. Doesn't matter. But
I did watch them. Yeah.
yeah, so what I was
I
saying
didn't
is,
watch that many streamers.
so
He
I
was definitely
never
one.
watched really any streamers. So, but you watch Dr. Disrespect all the time, and I love to hate on you for watching streamers. And when this came out, I've literally immediately went to Dietz. I was like, "You take the
I
stuff
got-
off your walls,"
Yeah, I did.
and he
I
took
did.
it off the
Get it.
walls
I gotta
that
take it
day.
down.
That day, that's how much.
Can't stand for that. Like
So then he just posted the other day.
He did.
Or was it yesterday?
he tweeted yesterday.
And it was him, playing chess?
There was him on one side of a table playing chess and the person on the other side playing checkers from like your POV, the post. No words.
And then someone made a meme of a little kid on the other side.
They were like
Of that
POV,
table.
the other side of the table. And I was like,
Anything he makes, they're gonna rip him apart.
Well, what are you doing posting that? Look at it. It was very weird. It was like when what's the guy from House of Cards?
I actually haven't seen it. I
Uh,
know of it. I haven't watched it.
The actor, famous actor.
It's like,
Like main guy,
Yeah, yeah.
Spacey.
Yeah, Kevin Spacey. So he got like canceled, and
He
then
did.
he went and did that weird ass video on YouTube where he's acting like the guy from House of Cards. Do you remember this
Oh
video?
yeah, that was a while ago.
Right after he got accused of with that underage boy or whatever. And he released that video, just creepy as hell. Him talking like
Yeah.
the president. It was
Yeah.
weird as shit. It was super weird. If anybody doesn't remember that, go look that up. Also, Kevin Spacey is now like, it sounds like he's going to come back to acting. Like he's coming back. He was just on Lex Friedman a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
Like,
sure. I thought they've
he's
been
trying to make
they've
a
been
comeback.
pushed. They've been trying to keep him out though. I saw some random video about it, how like hard he's been trying to get back in.
I don't know enough about it, but it seems like enough bad things came out about Kevin Spacey that I'm not going to sit here and say he's guilty because I don't know, but it's hard for me to say he's innocent. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. No, I do not know the
Yeah,
facts of
it's
that
like-
situation, dude.
fertile.
No.
All right. So Dr. Disrespect, did you know Cody Ko is the YouTuber?
I do.
So
I don't know the whole situation, but I know who he
Matt, did you see this? So the YouTuber, the female YouTuber came out and said that he slept with her when she was like 15 or 16, right? And apparently multiple people told Cody Co that she was underage and to stop talking to her at multiple like different events and parties. So the common thing between all of these people is they do know they're underage. People tell them they're underage and they don't care.
No.
There's messages, I don't know if you saw this, but a shitload of chats got leaked. Discord servers got leaked from Mr. Beast. Or not from Mr. Beast, from Chris's server. And guess who's in that server? Mr. Beast was in that server. Now, I don't think we necessarily know how active he was in the Discord server, because I'm in Discord servers and I don't pay attention. Frugal
This
male.
is true.
Frugal frugal male fashion. Shout out. It's actually a great Discord. I pay no attention though. They got the heat on there. If you're looking for some good clothes at a little discount, there's your guy. $50 for that one too.
$50.
But it's like, you know, Chris or Ava, whatever the hell you want to call that person. The fucking creep would be the best word. Let's call him Mr. Creep. They have leaks, you know, saying, hey, there's NSFW content in these Discords, in these chats, and Lava, the one that said he didn't get groomed, there is chats of him saying, hey, we should not be allowing this content. A majority of your people are underage. And then you have Chris Ava being like, ha ha ha, I'm 14 too, when, you know, they were like 21. So it's just really fucking weird. And I don't see it. This is like the year of reckoning for a lot of these people. It's almost like, you know, we got Diddy.
It is happening.
We got Diddy.
Like,
we got all these people just falling from the grace.
Drake.
Cat Williams. Cat Williams called it when he went on, what's his name's podcast, whatever. Yeah, Drake. All these guys are falling from grace.
It is all happening this year.
And it should be. It should be. Fuck these people. Like, Cody Co, he hasn't even made a comment yet about it. I think Mr. Beast, I'm assuming like Chris is gonna get arrested or something.
They were doing an internal like investigation of all that, right?
Yeah.
Like on their own.
Well,
third party.
Okay, third party's bullshit. No, I'm saying like the FBI is gonna go after him.
Yeah.
Because he had a bunch of that lolly stuff. You know what lolly is? It's like underage anime prawn. And it's not illegal, so that's how they skirt around the CP situation. Is by having lolly prawn.
What's your take on
Holy cow.
lolly?
I just learned about
I've
this.
never even heard that.
No, me neither. That's
I've never heard of this before.
Yeah, so it's child anime porn. And Chris Prawn, please make a note of that and don't. Yeah, YouTube doesn't like that word. What was I just saying?
Lolly.
Yeah. Anyway, so
Hey, you can't say that.
I knew nothing about any of this until this whole thing came out, and then I watched an attorney talk about it yesterday, and that's where he was talking about the lolly. I was like, what the fuck is lolly? And then I literally went onto my computer and I almost searched it up, and I was like, you know what? You know what? I don't even want to look up the definition of this online. I don't even want anything to be tracked that I even searched this one
Urban
time.
Dictionary.
Yeah, so I didn't even look it up, but it's insane. It's insane. And so apparently Chris was buying artwork from one of these people that makes this art. Quotation mark art, obviously. Fucking CP.
Yeah.
And he actually had artwork on.
You're in the thick of it.
He actually had, dude, fuck Mr. Beast after this. Literally, I was on Mr. Beast's side this whole time, but it's not only that with Mr. Beast, and actually I'll bring this up in a second, but they had a video where Chris had this stuff on the wall in his apartment. Mr. Beast was at his apartment all the time. It was in videos. There's this fucking artwork's in videos of their videos. The whole thing is weird. I don't understand, you know, Mr. Beast. It's funny. I think a year ago he had a statement saying, Chris is my best friend. You know, there's nothing going to come of this. And God, could he have not been more wrong on that one. Now, the other thing that's now coming out about Mr. Beast is this whole thing about all of his contests essentially being fake. And that a majority of the money goes back to him, his friends, or family or friends of his friends. And that, he's also, even worse than like rigging all of the contests, right? Is that, probably none of us here watch Mr. Beast live stream or anything like that. I don't even watch Mr. Beast videos because I find them for 12-year-olds, which is who they're for.
Yeah, exactly.
But he has live streams. Well, he'll be like, if you buy a t-shirt in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to throw $200 in, an order. Or it'll be like, if you subscribe and run across me in the street, you have a chance of winning $200. So he's like getting these kids into gambling. Because he's like, if you buy a shirt in the next 10 minutes, you'll have a chance of winning $1,000. So he's now having sweepstakes, which normally it would have to be randomized, like controlled and things like that. And it's not. So now he has Chris on one front, and now he has all of these other people on the other front saying, not only is Mr. Beast, I mean, more likely than not, probably at least, I would think, knew maybe a little bit about Chris, you would think. Probably. You would hear something. Especially if a lot of the employees knew some weird shit was up. And then you got him fighting all of this on the other side. We are watching the downfall of Mr. Beast in real time, the largest YouTuber of all time.
100%.
I don't think will be the largest YouTuber moving forward of all time. I could be wrong, but I don't see this going well.
See,
I think Chris is going to, I hope the FBI or someone goes after Chris, because if he's got Lolly, my assumptions would be he's got something else. And jail. Jail. Go to jail. No pass go, straight to jail. Straight to jail. And you still have people protecting Dr. Disrespect, Cody Cohen, Mr. Beast, Chris Ava, and all these other people. I just talked for a long time. What is your guys' take on this? What the hell is wrong with this? What is wrong?
Oh, it's disgusting. I mean, I don't think they should be. I mean,
is it just weird ass people that get famous and really in real life they could never sit down and have a conversation like this? But what ends up happening is they have so much power over this young audience that simply they're weird as hell. So they don't even know they wouldn't even know how to flirt with someone their own age. You know what I mean? Or have a normal conversation with a dude or a chick, whatever way you go. I don't care. But they don't even have that. So they're resorting to Discord channels and just being weird as shit.
And think about it, the amount of followers they have. Could you imagine the amount of followers that say that one line, though? They're just like, oh, the internet makes up things all the time. Like, you can't believe everything you see off the internet.
Yep.
Imagine how many followers he has and how many of those followers have probably said that.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, that they're just turning the blind eye, and it's just like, well, this is kind of proof here.
Well, people were saying, well, how much bad does he have to do to outweigh his good? It's like it doesn't matter how much good you do if you do bad. There's no outweighing.
yeah.
You still did something awful. It's like just because you fucking built 100 homes in Africa or whatever.
Yeah.
And a lot of that, it all is going to, I think, come out that a lot of this is bullshit, that he really does make an absorbent amount of money, that he doesn't buy any of this stuff himself, that he all has, even those houses, I'm sure, someone else's money. And, he doesn't buy the Teslas, he doesn't buy the phones, he doesn't buy any of the stuff. And it was all a gimmick. It was the fastest way to grow his account was to do this. And he did it perfectly. And now it's all about to fall apart.
Sure.
Yeah.
And aren't his videos in like every single language?
Yep.
And every single country. And
He's got a shit ton of channels.
Yeah. And he's got 10 or 20 different channels.
yeah,
Like Spanish.
he's got the burger company.
Oh,
too.
the Beast Burger.
Beast Burger
Burger.
is trash.
Yeah, they are.
Wasn't it just popping up everywhere? It's not.
Yeah, it was
I
just
literally
like a pop up.
I had it once. It was
I had it in
garbage.
Colorado.
There was one around
like
here
2 weeks ago.
that popped up.
Yeah. I ordered it, dude.
Oh, okay.
You don't remember? I ordered it to the office.
Oh no, I didn't.
Shout
Yeah.
out, Mr. Beast. Your burgers are awful.
So is his candy.
I haven't had the candy. I haven't had it.
Trash. Trash.
Feastables.
Yeah. So
Right.
apparently the other thing coming out with Mr. Beast is like the whole Feastables brand is really just lottery tickets to win shit. Because apparently if you buy Feastables, I guess it enters you in a chance.
You get some points.
You
or
get a
something.
chance to win like money or whatever from Mr. Beast. So
Redeem for points.
this whole thing is very odd. I don't know what to do besides I will say that if you are a parent of a kid and you're not looking at what they're doing online, you are not doing your job.
Yeah.
100%.
Mhm.
Because especially like I would say if your kid's like under 14 or 16, don't be in Discord. That's not even a hot take. Unless it's like with your friends and like you're gaming and it's like
I mean, that's
private.
the main
But if you're
purpose. You're talking about like community Discord.
I'm talking about community Discord channels, you should probably
be
not be in.
mindful of community servers.
I
mean-
think from 6 to 7 to 15, they should have restrictions on everything.
Yeah.
My child will.
Yeah.
No way that I'm letting them browse the internet
No.
freely. At that,
Well,
at
you can
that
do enough
age.
like restrictions
That's
on the
what I'm
devices
saying.
now. You can like literally limit to like one app, so it
Yeah.
can just be like one game.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
You can lock down. You can have a child mode on everything now.
Yep. And there's still, but most parents don't know.
no.
Most parents don't know and they don't pay attention either.
Most parents don't even know how to work the technology their 7-year-old knows how to work.
That's also true.
I mean,
it's
it's
also true.
facts.
Yeah.
You
You know-
know, be the case with us though. Never know. Shit coming out.
Yeah, it's I don't know. All I know is Cody Co is still the only one really not getting a lot of flack for this still. And I guess it's mainly because of the YouTube. The lady that came out is a big YouTuber, but apparently she's not liked, I guess, Matt. Is that right? Most people don't like her. I don't know who she is for whatever reason.
So they probably don't
So
believe
a lot of people are like, don't believe her,
Yep,
right?
Yep.
They're
Thinking
just
she's
like,
just trying
they're
to
just
get,
like, oh, classic, whatever her
trying to
name
get
is.
views from, and that could be that. You never know. I mean,
It's definitely not because
It's- oh,
Cody
yeah,
Co
he
hasn't
came
said
out.
shit.
yeah.
No, he
yeah,
hasn't
yeah.
said anything as
Oh.
far. Cody Co still hasn't said anything, right, Matt? Still hasn't said anything about it. I mean, that speaks volumes. You not saying anything, guilty.
Yeah.
Guilty as hell. Otherwise, you'd be like, no, I didn't do this. I'm innocent. All right. You want to talk about the Olympics real quick?
We can wrap.
We
up
don't
with
have to
the-
talk about the boxers if we don't want to, because, I mean, it's absolutely insane.
Well, what I read
So-
on the way here changes it, but I don't know obviously if
So
it's real or not. I
apparently
don't know.
the Italian fighter may have fought or is it Armenian? was Armenian, right?
Shit, I can't remember now.
So the one, I think it happened this morning. Apparently everyone was up in arms that the Armenian person used to be a guy. Apparently stuff came out that it was that
Well,
she
I don't know, just
grew
what
up
I
as a
read, that
female.
it
So
was
it's
a
like,
female, just high levels of testosterone is what they're
so
saying.
what does that mean?
I
Like,
don't
you're
know.
You're injecting testosterone?
Yeah,
like you
like,
can't do that either.
I don't know what that means, but
Um,
I just read that on the
But
way.
I believe I read yesterday, or I thought this morning, that there's two whatever males that are now competing as females that were disqualified from the world championships, but they are in the Olympics.
Gotcha.
And one of those women were the ones that the video came out, I believe, yesterday of the guy beating the shit out of that chick.
I
And
haven't seen that
obviously the
video
female
yet.
lost.
I just saw the Italian one today.
My question is, is everyone living under a box? Like, did we not know this was going on? It like takes the Olympics for everyone to realize that men transitioning should never be in female sports ever. It's not fair. Like it's not fair.
Yeah.
It
I
goes to
mean-
show it. Look up the videos.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like he was about to kill her.
Yeah.
And it literally looked like he was about
Are you
to
talking
die.
about the one yesterday?
Yeah.
Or the, okay.
yeah.
Yeah. I haven't
And
seen that one.
and Joe Rogan had the swimmer on. She's famous because she was competing in nationals like 2 or 3 years ago for college, and the person that won it all was a male that transitioned to a female, and they gave the medal, first place, to him. Everyone, like most of the teammates and everyone, were like, "What the fuck is going on?" But nothing was done about it, and that
No.
was 2 or 3 years ago. I mean, we've known about this for a while. Wasn't it happening? Wasn't it a UFC? No, not UFC. Maybe it was some other boxing event or fighting event that I saw like 4 or 5 years ago where this whole thing was like, are we going to like put a stop to this? Oh, yes, that's right. Okay, that's right. The volleyball girl. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. The dude literally just destroyed yeah. So that's interesting. So what's your guys' takes on males transitioning to female sports? I don't even think it's a hot take to say they shouldn't be allowed to do it. I mean, why don't we just, if they want to do it, either fight with the males or let's just create a third.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
would
think,
say
I
not.
think you're getting to that point.
yeah.
Why not? I mean, I
I'd
wouldn't
rather watch that
like,
than
straight
Who's
out
going to be
create
against it? No, it's
another.
like, why would anyone be against it? It's like, fine,
Well,
have your own thing. Keep it fair, because right now you just beating on females is not fair,
No.
and it's fun for no one.
They're in, they're
we
like
don't
in the
enjoy
middle
it.
now,
No.
so.
It was hard to watch.
No one
I mean,
enjoys it. Literally, no one
Yeah.
watching enjoys it.
It wasn't even funny in the beginning. I was just like,
No, you're just like
oh
Jesus
my
Christ.
it's not good.
gosh.
It's
I was
not
like,
good.
she definitely lost brain cells. Yeah, 100%.
Well, imagine
I mean,
imagine you're training since you're like 8 to go to the
You're
Olympics.
on the main stage, biggest
Because
stage of your life.
I don't. I could be incorrect, but I don't know women boxing. Is there a women professional boxing league?
I'm sure.
yeah.
I know there's bare knuckle boxing for females. I don't. Maybe there is.
There's
I'm
Either
sure
one.
there is. There's UFC.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess
I'm
that
sure
makes
they
sense.
have their own.
But I've never watched female boxing. I guess I should say.
No, me neither.
So I mean, realistically, I would assume it's not like you're ever going to make an absolute shitload of money unless you go to like the UFC or something like that. But I would assume female boxers don't
even
make a
then,
bunch of money.
I mean, they don't make.
Right.
UFC don't make.
Right.
Some
So you're-
Some of them do. A little bit.
So let's just say for 18 years you're training or 16 years you're training to go to this thing. You go to the Olympics. Your first opponent is a dude. What should these people be doing? Should they just forfeit and literally say I'm not fighting this person? I mean, what can the fighters do? What could the females do and be like, no, I'm just straight up. Everyone needs to come to the
Well, I mean, I
agreement.
think you saw it. They can get destroyed or
cheat.
or try. I mean, she tried. She started, but then she got hit once. The one this
Yeah,
morning, and she's
yeah.
like, "No, I'm out." That was the hardest I've ever been
But
hit my entire life. That's what
do
she said.
do all the
She's like, "I'm
females would all the females essentially need to come together and just be like, listen, if this type of opponent ever comes up again, just no one fight them. You know what I mean? If
Yeah, give 'em the
everyone was
win.
just like
all the way.
literally let them get first place, no one fights. How dumb are they gonna look?
Mm.
Be like, no one's fighting. No one's gonna fight you. This is unfair.
The Olympics is definitely changing.
Yeah,
I don't know
what the hell's going on.
about-
It is a crazy one so far.
Do you
And then
know
once
North Korea's in the Olympics, but Russia isn't?
we were talking about.
That's interesting.
Do you see that North Korea and South Korea, they got a selfie together? The North Koreans and South Koreans. They like were on the
That makes
podium and they
sense.
got a selfie, but now everybody's like careful, like when they go back home, like
Well, it makes sense.
Oh.
It
being
makes
seen in public doing that. Like they're
Oh.
worried about, you know what I mean? Like don't do that.
Yeah.
Take that down.
I don't think North Korea needs bad publicity. I don't think anything's going to happen there.
Yeah.
You would think they're trying to get good publicity across.
He's not
Yeah.
saying towards the government, just like people in general.
Yeah.
Seeing that photo.
I think that's
Seeing him
good.
in the
I'm actually
streets.
happy.
Yeah.
I'm
It's a
actually
good
happy
photo.
that happened because what that means is
No, I'm not. Yeah,
Tensions-
it's a good thing it happened. I'm
Yeah.
not saying that it's not a good thing. I'm saying like,
no. I'm with you.
okay.
I'm with you. I know
I'm
what
not
you're
like,
saying.
that's bad.
No, I understand what you're
Bad.
saying. No, I'm saying I'm happy. I'm happy that happened, and I think it's weird that I know Russia's fighting Ukraine, but I do think it's weird that the Olympic Committee or the Olympics can make a stand and say, "Hey, everyone can compete except Russia."
Yeah.
It is weird, is it not?
Yeah.
And everyone's like, "Well, they're fighting Ukraine." It's like, okay, Ukraine's competing. North Korea's competing. How can North Korea compete? We can't even go into that country. No one could go into that country. You can go to Russia, but they can't compete.
Yeah.
Strange.
It is strange. It is strange. All right, last topic.
What? What do you got? Yeah, I was gonna
Shooter.
say the turkey.
Yeah, did you see
That was
the
sick.
photo of this guy?
Oh, with one hand in his
Yeah.
pocket.
Because you know, well,
That was
this
amazing.
This is the order. Like I saw it happen for me on the internet. Was where was she from? The female that won. She had like the eye flap and
South
like her
Korea,
hat.
right? Or Hong Kong or something like that.
I don't know who she was representing, but she was all like kitted out with like
You want
crazy
more?
like gadget. Like she had like the eye cover
Nothing.
and like all this shit, right? And she won. I think she won gold, right?
Yeah, she won
Mhm.
gold.
Made it look easy.
Mhm.
But then the other thing that came up after that was the Turkish, right? The Turkish guy
Yep.
who had nothing. And he got silver, just came out, was like,
So
and it went like no gear,
were males
like side by
females
side. He's just like,
competing?
what?
He's got
They were competing in the same division, males and females. What is that? What's that called? Oh, that's it? Just shooting?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Oh, is that one not separated?
No.
Oh, okay. So yeah, they're like they have those like eye covers and everything, but that one guy was just like had nothing. It was pretty funny.
His hand in his pocket.
Yeah.
the
How
whole
many
time.
shots do they take?
I have no idea. I've actually never watched it.
All shooting is done from 10
Single
10
loaded.
meters, 25 meters, 50 meters.
5.6 millimeter, single loaded.
5.6 millimeter caliber. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's super small because it's just like ding, ding.
I about wanted like in between two women.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, it was
I
all.
was about to say, I thought women usually win that event for some reason. I don't know. I guess they got better eyesight. We need some women snipers if that's the case.
Not coordination, yeah, I mean, probably. But
I don't know, bro.
Women don't have better hand-eye coordination? What are you talking about? Were you saying women have better hand-eye coordination?
I'm just, let's go.
You know, I was taking the ladies' side all day today, but let me tell you, right now I'm going to say men tend to have better hand-eye coordination than women. There you go.
Says Google Gemini.
Says Google. Yeah, says Google AI overview. Men have stronger connections between brain areas for. This is WebMD.
Just WebMD, bro.
Anyways, all right.
That was it. That was the Turkish guy.
Yeah, that was
Just
that was
looked like he
amazing.
walked in, got silver.
That's all we got for today.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You guys good?
Yeah, no,
think I had
good.
anything
Thanks
else.
for having me.
Well, before we end it, Evan, where can the people find you and or West County Insulation?
They can find me on West County Insulation. They can look it up on Google. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, I believe.
You're everywhere.
Yeah, I'm pretty much any
You're everywhere.
social media platform.
Or directory.
And you can, if you want, you can email me at evan@westcountyinsulation.com, and I'll get back with you as soon as I can.
Boom. You'll be talking to either this lovely gentleman right here or Brandon. So they'll get you taken care of. We're going on your wedding next week. I meant to talk
That
about
was
it.
my only sidebar.
I meant to
Actually, I
talk
was like,
about it.
Yeah.
I didn't know if we were bringing it up.
Yeah,
I was
you're
like,
getting
you got
married
some
next
big-
week.
big
Congrats.
shit.
Thank you.
We're going out there. We're going to Cancun. We're going to have a good ass time.
Yes,
so hopefully
golf.
we'll come back with some good stories for sure for the podcast. I'm sure I will. God only knows one of the sisters is going to shout out. Clip it. We'll send it to her.
Oh, Lord, don't you dare.
They don't watch this. It doesn't matter. That would be funny if they did. They just hate watch this. All right. West County Insulation. Alex, where can they find you?
halfcoaststudios.com or anywhere on social, Google, and our contact email is just contact@halfcoaststudios.com.
Boom. All right. And that's all the time we have for today. However, as always, we will be back next week for another episode and new guests. Please like, review, subscribe if you listen this far, share, leave a comment, send it to someone. You got any questions? Leave them, please.
Yeah.
If you have any guests you want us to talk to in St. Louis, leave that as a comment as well. A couple sponsors. Mark Lee, if you're looking to own your own farmer's insurance agency, reach out to him. We got that in the description below. Of course, if you're looking to host a podcast or just need help distributing your podcast and editing, reach out to them here at halfcoaststudios.com. We got Matt here. We got Alex. We got Aiden. And anyone else on the team going to take care of you. And then, of course, the best damn marketing company on the planet, Vi Media. Go there, vi.media. You'll have the privilege of speaking to me. You're welcome. Goodbye.
Hey there, St. Louis podcast listeners. We've got some exciting news from our friends over at Farmers Insurance of St. Louis, led by the man, the myth, the legend, Mark Lee of Farmers Insurance.
Mm-hmm.
If you're looking for a job or to own your own business under a brand that everyone and their cousin is familiar with, Mark Lee with Farmers Insurance of St. Louis is recruiting insurance agency owners here in St. Louis for their Farmers Insurance Mentorship Program.
And as many of you are aware, Garrett and I have owned quite a few successful and award-winning businesses over the years. And in a past life, one of those was a farmer's insurance agency out of Chesterfield, Missouri.
Eric and I know firsthand how hard it is to start a business under a brand that no one has heard of and convince consumers and businesses to trust that you're an authority figure in your industry.
And as many of you know, we own an award-winning marketing firm, Vi Media, the one that Garrett was just discussing. And building that company's reputation literally took years. We're still building it to this day, and it's been 8 years in the making. However, with the Trusted Farmers Insurance Agency name on the building, we got started when we started our Farmers Insurance Agency. The trust was already built and has been for 96 years.
And if you can't do math, that means Farmers Insurance has been around since 1928. Luckily, you don't need to be a human calculator to get rich as an owner of your very own Farmers Insurance Agency.
Nope. All you have to do is reach out to the one and only Mark Lee, the leader of Farmers Insurance in the greater St. Louis metropolitan area.
That's right. So ensure he continues to sponsor our show and your favorite podcast, the St. Louis Podcast, by quitting your job today and calling Mark Lee. I wouldn't even wait for him to answer your call. Call your boss now, quit, and become your very own business owner.
Visit insurancecareerstl.com. That is insurancecareerstl.com. Should we spell it out?
Yes. It would
INSURANCE, career, CAREER, STL.com, insurancecareerstl.com. Go there now. Back to the podcast.
And wait, insurancecareerstl.com.